Okay.
I thought too, but just a big tender.
Nice day off.
I wouldn't have it something that says September, but on here and it's
I'll talk to the nice.
Good, okay. So while I'm at work, it's gonna be beautiful out,
probably,
and then, okay, got it.
We get all of the disaster.
That's usually how it
So
goes.
enjoy it. Well, you can.
Yeah. My trouble.
Any
Enjoy
good
lunch
sounds
break.
good.
Yeah, I saw the garbage can
No,
up this
I
week.
talked him out of it.
Okay. I'm not gonna be reprimanded. Good.
Look what I got to drive today.
In your car.
Yeah, it's a Camaro.
Eric, I have a question for you. This
That, I'm still kind
rendering
of shaking.
that Rita
I've
had,
driven before, but
do you know who drew that?
it's kind of fun though, but. A little on the ridiculous side, but I thought it was pretty cool if it
You
gave
did?
us under.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We're looking to
I like
possibly
the
get some
help
edits,
that.
and so I don't,
Yeah, that's.
wondering also what that would
Yeah,
cost.
this is each
on your
one.
meeting on the 24th.
So, I'll send you, so we could run the facility assessment.
Okay.
plan, and we-
Oh, it's a while ago. Yeah, it's a while ago.
something like that. And I'll dig that out. So at least we start with them.
I have every intention of coming here, signing checks early.
Whatever you can share with me would be great, and we have a library.
That's what you guys will do this morning.
So,
I know, but I had stuff.
get all that before then,
Yeah,
then we can move forward with possibly getting new or more rendering.
yeah. So, actually Brian Burke's our one of our.
Oh, yeah, I was downloading.
You did it?
Yeah, he did that Medicare.
Well, thank you, I'm glad you know.
Yeah, yeah, that must be familiar.
Brian Burton with SEA.
Yeah, yeah, but I'll,
I think it's good.
I'll dig it out.
Oh, it's coming up.
What, you don't want me to get mad and say, that's enough? I've heard enough of you guys. I'm mad to do that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
How you going?
Good.
Get that in the order yet?
Nope. Another
Thank you, Eric.
couple weeks.
yeah. You wanna hear the best one I heard
The library board wants to
about
move on it.
village questions today, yesterday? So, Wrecker, Brad Ketchum, he's like, hey, I got a question for you. He goes, it's a little different. He goes, when are you gonna put the beacon back on top of the water tower? I go, what? He goes, well, when you're a bored, lonely plow truck driver and you just look around and stuff at night and there's no beacon on the water tower, so you start painting it. So I had to call Graham and go, you ain't gonna believe this one. Well, I guess we don't have to, it's under the 200 feet for FAA rules, so.
It used to be on there?
Yeah, there was always a red beacon on top of there.
Now what, somebody hit it?
Is there danger?
Yeah, well, that's even no kidding, those come crashing right at the water tower.
Is there danger of those guys?
No, you shouldn't have to call a fire department.
No, they did ask Eric, the skydive guys didn't care, they
No,
were like,
okay,
we know it's there, there's another tower close, so
okay.
that was brought up too, the skydive guys.
Water towers
I don't mean to my backpack.
What? No,
She got bad rap there, wasn't
they should come in here and get some rest. Actually, yeah, they should come
Oh, I
back.
think we got 5 quicker this morning.
Oh, yeah, it's a
Yeah.
part of the meeting. They should all sign in.
I don't wanna do that.
Where did it sign? By the door? Oh, there's a table by the door, right by Scott there.
Do you just want one to like a Girl Scout troop size? Okay,
One or individually, guys?
No, they don't need all.
Just
Okay.
one.
okay, we'll just, we'll.
Maybe Amy and Brenda, that'd be great.
All the
You
adults.
wanna come sign?
We had 6 o'clock yet, pretty close. We got 5%. That's all you got? So we got a quick meeting, we're gonna meeting out, huh, man?
Matt's at 5%. Should borrow my mask. Have your beer. big wig.
Is that your name?
That's about it, boy. 300 signatures. I know it's not very good anyway, so.
Yeah, you need to get out of town here. You can be on vacation.
Auto stamp, yeah.
Oh, well, a lot of people are. Yeah, Mike was doing that. He was in Delaware, signing all kinds of stuff.
Auto,
That's what they call it, I guess.
like electronic.
I guess.
I appreciate that you actually signed things.
Call meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Early, here it is. Roll call.
Here.
Here. Here. Here.
Here.
Consent agenda 4 through 10. Anybody want anything pulled off the?
Move to approve.
Motion to approve consent agenda 4 through 10. Second. Motion second. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 11, public comments. Public comments are limited to 2 minutes per person. Anybody with public comments?
Yeah, I do. Do I have to stand up there?
I wouldn't mind you going up there, but you can do it from there. I'll let
I
you.
just want to let everybody know that one of our own, you can see is absent today. Great friend of mine, one of my own on the fire department, going through a lot right now. So if you haven't noticed, we started a benefit for him on April 19th. So if you can attend, that'd be great. Just let everyone know that keep him in your thoughts and prayers. He's going, he's doing good, so, so just keep him in your thoughts and prayers, Austin, so just thought I'd, want to bring that up.
No problem. Thank you. Any more public comments? Okay, we'll go to number 12. Girl Scout Troop 57879, presentation of public project to the village, crosswalk flags, buckets at designated streets. Amy Kuzlik, Graham Gosman, Eric Hensinger. Come on down, we don't bite you. We promise.
But it's your turn to step out in front.
You can sit in front if you want to. Yeah, if you guys come around.
Why don't you just go up there and you move it.
Okay.
You can do that as the administrator. But that's okay, we'll have our engineer be the filmmaker. Thanks, Eric.
Just costs you $30.
Can't. Oh, trust me, I'm sure I'll see a bill next month.
Hi, we are Baldwin Girl Scout Troop 57879. We have 7 juniors and 2 brownies in our troop. We are working on our bronze award to help keep the Baldwin community safely across the street. We got our inspiration from other communities that have crossing flags to make walkers more visible to cars. We would like to place our buckets and flags on the corners of Curtis, Main, and Swan Street. These are popular spots where people are crossing over Highway 63. Our design is to use PVC pipes glued to an end cap that has a hole in the bottom to allow water to drip. We also painted them black. These will be connected to poles with a metal connector and a show in the dark. There will be 6 buckets total with 3 to 4 flags in each bucket.
Our leaders have talked with Graham Gosman and Eric Henningsgaard with the village and Chad Hines with the DOT and have gained approval for these plans. The poles we will use for the buckets will be placed in the spring. They will be separate from any road signs per the DOT.
We will take care of the flags and buckets to make sure that they are in good condition and replace parts as necessary.
If our troop is no longer together, we will ask the Girl Scout Service Unit to take on the project to continue its legacy for years to come. This will allow future Girl Scouts to continue to be involved in their Baldwin community.
Thank you for considering our Bronze Award project. Any questions?
How could you say no to that? I mean, I guess, do I have to ask a question? You're okay with it, Graham, obviously?
Yep, and Eric did all the footwork of getting the DOT approval for, the correct measures for that side of it, so, Public Works has offered to use, plant the posts, I guess you could say, for the, things they're gonna use to put them in.
Well, that was the best presentation I've seen in a few months from some of the adults around this area, so thank you, ladies.
Well, while it's not necessary for approval, since they have approval elsewhere, I would like to move to approve the Bronze Award project of Troop 57879. This helps their record of the Bronze Award for their troop leaders, so to have an official record of it. So I move to approve the project.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve for the Girl Scout Bronze Project. Any questions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? You got it. Well done.
Make sure it gets in the paper.
Yeah. Hey, you missed this. Paper boy. Come on, Jason. 6 o'clock meeting. It's been doing this for the last 50 years.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, I was just twisting that night.
You're welcome.
Yes. We'll just wait here on 13 because we don't have the paper man in here. Or is he out there talking? Perfect, that's a good idea. We'll move on. 13, award 2025 street project bid. Mitch?
Want me to stand up?
Yeah.
All right.
This one's a little bit different than our normal ones. There's stuff to talk about here.
Okay. So bids for the 9th Avenue reconstruction project were open last Thursday. A total of 5 bids were received from Haas Sons, Albrightson Excavating, Total Excavating, Yuan, and McCabe Construction. 3 of those bidders submitted the 10% bid bond that was required, and 2 of them submitted a 5% bid bond. Haas Sons was low bidder and submitted a 5% bid bond. Albrightson was second and submitted a 10% bid bond. I had Mark contact Paul to weigh in on the informality, as we would say, I guess, to get his input. After that conversation, it's our understanding that Paul would consider the wrong percentage more than just an informality. Informality is open to interpretation, but more so would lean toward signature wrong, saying city of Baldwin versus village. So after that conversation, we would recommend rejecting Haas Sons and Total Excavating's bid and going with Albrightson.
Or you could rebid everything.
I have a strong thing against that. We're already in March.
And that's rebidding?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's gonna be another month. I said that's just gonna put us that much farther back, I think. That's my opinion. You know, because we won't meet back here until April again. So, What's your thoughts on it?
I guess in my experience, rebidding, I've only seen when prices come in much more than what you're expecting, you need to adjust scope, there's something missed that should have been an addendum, information missing. I wouldn't think rebidding would be the greatest option either in my standpoint. But
Yeah, and the only reason I bring it up, because there's $50,000 difference.
should be noted, I guess, since Franklin, you guys have had that requirement of a 10% bid bond, so it's not just this year that's different.
Right.
So since we've been doing projects with you guys again, it's been a requirement on every project.
And it was front and center, right?
On the advertisement and on the bid form.
So does this need it needs a motion?
Well, we're trying to figure out who we're gonna take here, so it's either a motion to, I mean, I don't think we can really waive it.
I would move to award Albertson Excavating for the Ninth Street project.
Well, we probably gotta make a motion to drop to 2.5%, don't we, or not?
Oh, do we?
Do we have to
No.
do that?
No?
No, I think we just awarded.
Okay.
I'll have a second when he's
Got a motion and a second
awarded to Albertson.
to award it to Albright's Excavating. Questions?
And I would just put in the minutes the reason that you're not taking Haas because they didn't follow the rules of bidding. And so that bid was rejected.
Did you give them a start date or anytime they want? I shouldn't
The
say that.
the start date, there's a specific end date that Maple had to be completed before school, because of this school route. Other than that, it's just a total
If it
length,
gets to
total
tonight.
length of days. I think it was 120 days for the entire project.
So 4 months.
No specific start date.
Probably the earlier the better.
Correct. But that's ultimately up to whoever's awarded their schedule and when they get in there. Can't force them to be there.
Any more questions or comments? Roll call this.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Yes.
Do we have anybody from Haas here? Do you understand where we're coming
Yeah.
with this? I mean,
Do you want me to present to the podium?
well, I mean, we already made a decision to take Albright's now, but, I mean, it's a tough one to chew. I mean, 60,000. 60,000, I mean, to some places, 60,000 is not much, but to us, that's quite a bit, but we don't have the time to rebid this, in my eyes. And I think it was basically, you've seen it, it was a 10% bond when
Yep.
you get the paperwork, and I don't want you guys to be upset and not bid our stuff again. I mean, we would love you to, we got another big project next year, but
Right.
it's just kind of, our hands are kind of tied, you know? I
Yep.
mean, we would have absolutely taken it. I would assume this board would have said, yep, give it to Haas, if there was 10% on there.
Yeah, no, we totally understand, there's no hard feelings, it's, and it is a bid bond that we had 10% to Mitch, and them guys bidding it less than 10 minutes after the bid. So for us, we're bonded for 30 million.
Right.
You know what I mean, so at this point, it was a formality, irregular, for circumstances in Washburn 4 days ago, they awarded it to the low bid at a 5% bid bond when it's required at 10%. So you can do it, it's totally up to you guys, but there's no hard feelings here. We're continuing to bid your stuff.
Yeah, well, there'll be stuff for next spring too,
Yeah,
so.
exactly, we work with Mitch and.
The second
Eric
half of
and
this project, so.
Eric knows us very well too, so I mean, we're around.
Okay,
You know,
perfect.
So, yeah, no hard feelings, I just wanted to hear how it came tonight, because it is a tight schedule. Albright's is gonna have a tough time.
That was the question I talked to Mitch today about, going, is this gonna work, and, yep. So, I guess that's what we're gonna go with, and we never make the right decisions usually sometimes on these, but whatever, so. All right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
15, request by CEO Matt Negendorf.
14.
Oh, 14. Request by CEO from Baldwin Light Street Management, I mean, Baldwin Light Street to use Mill Pond Park Pavilion and grass area on August 2nd. Is this, did you bring this up or?
No.
Oh, no.
Is Joanna here?
No.
I guess I'll just bring it up. It's our 150th anniversary. 100, what did I say? 125? No. See, that's why she was supposed
We're
to
just
be
rolling
here.
smooth today.
It's 125.
Yeah. No, normally, something this big, we always, I mean, you have the book usually
They've
for,
got the pavilion, what they're wanting is the outside grassy area. So
oh, for like the soccer area, so,
Yeah, and around.
okay.
Is there alcohol with this event? No?
No, I'm not gonna get it, that's.
I'm with Christine.
I'm not gonna be there.
Oh, you won't even be there.
I'm on vacation.
Again?
Yeah.
All right.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion a second to approve the grass area in the Mill Pond Park Pavilion, August 2nd to the Baldwin Light Stream. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 15, EMS building project pay request, retainage release. Wow. What do you know about this, Mark? Nothing, I guess.
I mean, I don't know anything against it, let me
No.
put it that way.
So is it, who has brought this to us? Was that?
It came through Steve, I guess, and we put it on the agenda, but I don't,
For
I mean,
the ambulance?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume it would, came from the general contractor
Yeah.
then.
Was it from KA?
Yeah.
Did, who was, you, SCH did the engine, right?
No.
No.
Who was
No,
that?
Wold did.
Oh, Wold.
Wold.
Well, I mean, doesn't usually Wold call and say, hey, you know, they release it, it's good? I mean, like you do, without a release, you're like, hey, yep,
Well,
they satisfied.
Wold was our designer, and this was a little bit weird because remember you had to like approve like the HVAC guy and the medical guy, and you didn't, it was,
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
you were almost, we were construction
This was
manager.
a little
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you didn't have a general, but you had a construction manager, and
Well, then we'll just go to Tom. Tom, everything working good there, or is there something that, one minute little thing that I can say, no, we won't do it right now?
Not that I'm aware of. Everything would hold up well, so.
Yeah, I think Tom's
Well, I mean, Tom would be the one to tell us if there's any issues
there.
there,
Anything with the
so.
road or anything? Do we need to?
No.
Graham?
And I know Brad said something about those manholes or the way they were set, and that's, you got no issues there. You guys been plowing it, so.
This would be released to who?
Is that when they got filled with hot
Yes.
wheels?
Yeah.
That you?
Is this,
Halverson Brothers.
it's all Halverson?
Yep.
So the check's actually going to Halverson, and, no, Paige Sullivan, she signed off on it.
Yeah, goes to Halverson.
John Hewitt, okay. And this is it then, I would assume?
I think so, yeah.
Because this has been,
We've been there a year now, so.
yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't it a year in February or March?
Yep, February 10th we moved in.
February 10th of last year, so. Okay.
Could
well,
be it.
we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to
Second. Motion to approve it?
release the retainage.
Still thinking about it, but that's fine, I guess. Yeah, it's been a year. All right, we have a motion, a second. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 16, Todd Redunzel, TID 6 facade improvement loan application at 770 Main Street for 1,900?
15.
15?
1,500 is what he grabbed it.
Well, I got 19 on,
Oh,
Sorry.
1,900.
I got 19
Oh,
on
yeah,
that.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's-
15.
Is that the old one?
I got the old one?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Todd is here too, I don't know.
Yep, this is the newest one here.
Jeez, Todd, I didn't recognize you.
I got old.
No, you lost your hair. I just remember your hair. How
Oh,
you
it's
doing,
still a little bit
Todd?
up there.
How you doing, Todd?
Good, how about you?
Good, good.
Good. So yeah, I submitted the first one, and So what I did is I ended up saving quite a bit on what I did with the front door, what I'm doing with the front door. So basically, even with this amount, it's just gonna come back to what it was originally. So, and I just decided that as the project progressed, that it would just look better just to get all the colors in line, and you know, everything should be black on there, so it looks nice, so.
Motion approved.
So moved.
The motion second. Questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There you go.
Right on.
Thanks, Todd.
You bet.
17, update on sludge thickener settlement. Graham. It's coming together as fast, I guess.
So at the last board meeting, we talked about the, basically $150,000 that Vivo was willing to put towards a new thickener. Since then, we've, Jeremy and I went and toured the plant, talked to other operators. I think we've just received our third price today, or yesterday, for another thickener. So as of right now, we have 3 different options, from about $230,000 to $300,000 is roughly where they're at. We don't know which one we're gonna go with or anything like that. We got a meeting on Friday with SCH to go over kind of the next steps of, all right, now we got some options, what's gonna work the best, what's gonna fit in our area, where are we gonna put it, all that stuff. So that's kind of where, it's pretty short. That's all, we're at the point where we selected some, we're just waiting for, I guess, to make the judgment on which one to use and to have a meeting with SCH to kind of go through the next steps of it.
Question for you.
Yep.
What's the most expensive one? Rough guess, right?
And this is just for the machine, it's about 300.
There's other costs, labor, or
There's gonna be some electrical and piping in the plant, so it'll be
$325,
probably more than that.
$350?
I go 50 at least, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the cheapest one? Well, that's the cheaper,
230 is the lowest one.
and that's still with electrical.
That'd be, it's just, so it'll be another 50 on top of that.
So it'll be another 50 on that, so you're talking 280.
Yep.
Then we subtract 150 or 120 roughly after rental.
Yep.
Okay. So, all right.
But that's where we're at, we don't have final numbers on any of that, until we get farther into to select the right, the one we're gonna go with and all that, so.
I just didn't want to be shock factor with the $48,000 grass seed that we pay for retention pond.
No.
We could
So-
probably have the PGA Tour on, but.
But yeah, so we got some good options, we talked to a couple of different operators with different, they're all pretty similar as far as what they do, they're a simple concept, but just different designs and whatnot, so. That's where we're at with it.
So maybe between 150 and 200 some odd world. All right, thanks, Graham.
Yep.
18, I put this on here, I kind of asked Steve to throw together a consulting agreement just in case. It sounds like our new treasurer is doing very well, but if there's something that she has a problem with or anybody else, we have a fee here just in case, like Frank did, basically, and we can just go by and then that's what that's on there for, so. So 18, consulting agreement with Steve Perry.
Move to approve.
A motion?
Second.
A motion and second. Any questions or comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. 19, review and approve United Fire and Rescue request for a street closure of Main Street from Pillar Bank parking lot to 8th Avenue for the street dance, 12 p.m. to Saturday, July 26th until 3 a.m. Sunday, July 27th, 2025. I think this is the same as normal.
Matt, is that the same?
Yep, I was asked to take this from Austin, it's the same as last year, street dance, nothing's changing.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. I have a question. Kevin, you're perfectly fine with this. You saw this last year.
Yeah, it seems like it's a good event, so,
So,
yeah.
okay. Any more questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Planning Commission. March 3rd, 2025 Planning Commission minutes. Discuss some possible action request for an exemption for the sign ordinance for Eagle Storage, which is the new storage, the owners of the new storage unit here. on 2189 and 2195 55th, which, if you guys don't know where it is, it's at the end of 55th, or 220th at 55th, where the water tower is, kind of across the street. It's just an open lot. They want to put a yeah, well, they're, yeah, to the south of, between the freeway and 55th. They just want to put a, kind of a V sign like this, the one that kind of faces the freeway, and a little bit of oncoming traffic from 63, saying that they have Eagle Storage. Eventually, in a year or two, they're going to tear it down and build a building there. And that's, we had one person come in for the hearing. She was ecstatic that, obviously we have it on here for number, or for letter C on the planning commission. She was ecstatic that that was gone, so she's like, I don't care about that sign no more. So go ahead and do it, she said. So we recommend approval for it.
Well, also help that it was, she knew it was temporary after this.
That didn't help, that was temporary.
Only until they build the building, and then it will be done.
And then she said, I'll be in here when they build the building. I said, okay, 10
Did they annex that in?
Yes.
Yes.
I think Clint Anderson did it before he sold it, or B&A Storage sold it to Eagle.
Yes, and some years ago, actually before the last sale, we issued a conditional use permit for the future building of self-storage units. Because the buyer wasn't interested in buying the property unless self-storage could eventually go there. That's allowed by conditional use, so it wasn't traditional way of doing things. You still have to go through the site plan approval and all of that. But self-storage is basically slated to go there. And they said they'd build in about 1 to 3 years.
So they're gonna take it down if they don't build?
Well,
And otherwise, you're gonna have an off-premise freeway sign, and they're gonna wanna come in and put some other business on it.
Okay, can we put a limitation on time for it, because it's temporary? It's not a permanent sign.
Yeah, I would as part of your approval.
You said 1 to 3 years, Eric? So move to approve the request for exemption from Eagle Storage to have their 8x8 sign up for up to 3 years.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
Motion a second. Questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Letter C. I'm sure everybody knows about this, but Mr. Fritz Ebinger called myself and Mark, and he's very upset, not at us, XL, because XL basically used him to do all the dirty work and all the paperwork and everything else, and then XL pulled the plug on the solar in the village of Baldwin. So it's done deal. There's no more.
Did they call the town of Baldwin too?
Huh?
Yes.
His email said, yeah.
Yeah. So, another update is that now that our snowbird came back, you can probably help me out, right, Bill?
Yeah.
Are you back for a while, or? Mark Donker, Scoot, and myself are putting together a ordinance of solar farms. How enforceable it is, we're putting some stuff together. So Mark and I and Dale, if you want to, I think we might be doing it tomorrow, not tomorrow, maybe Friday, or maybe Monday, Tuesday next week would work better.
Monday, Tuesday work better for me.
All right, we'll do it Monday, Tuesday, I'll call Mark.
Well,
And then we'll,
Tuesday specifically, I got Monday, I got a commitment, so I'm sorry.
you got what?
I have a commitment on Monday, so.
For being a retired guy,
Well,
you get a lot of business.
it's called a funeral, so I'm.
Oh, well, then, yeah, you're okay, you're excused. So we're putting together something, and we'll, between Mark and I and Dale, we'll get something sent off to Paul for April meeting on a solar farm ordinance of some sort. And Paul said, well, good idea to put one in, don't know how enforceable it would be, but we'll have something on the books. So, that's one of that. What our committee, we have any other committee reports?
No.
For 21? Are you kidding me? You guys didn't have any? Planning commission was the only one that did. Wow, that's crazy.
First time. Years.
Well, department heads, public works.
We missed Eric.
This engineer.
Oh, geez, 22, Bill, sorry, Eric, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was looking at committee rec, sorry.
Well, I don't have much anyway.
Okay.
Working with Wolf a little bit on the police department, we provide the site survey for them. And, yeah, reviewed that Eagle storage and that's about it. Some emails flying around on the thickener. We'll meet on Friday on that.
Nice.
Quiet one. Yeah.
Nice, yeah. Graham?
Alright, so I just got a few things with my, my little update that I put in there. There's a small utility shed behind the new food pantry, the old Quick Trip. We commandeered it for our department to use as a new shed for the dump attendant out at the dump, because the one that we have is pretty old and falling apart, so we're working on redoing that so it can be used out there for Mr. Cal Hop. We filled some potholes within the snow, so a lot of them got the blacktop got ripped out, but we're working on today the spray patcher to get it going so we can start filling potholes once the weather warms up here. Parks Department's still working on seating, preparing picnic tables and benches. We did the bid opening, our plans for the street project are finalized. We've been meeting with residents in that area about concerns and questions and whatnot as they come up. We've been working on oil changes, maintenance on vehicles and equipment. In the outer building of the DNR, kind of the garage, I guess you'd call it, there's some shop lights out, so we've been working on replacing them, putting LED lights, converting them to LED. Trevor's been working on that. We had to wait a little bit for bulbs, so we're slowly but surely getting that done. We continue to meet with vendors and SH on the MBT like we kind of talked about. Jeremy and I went over to Medford and looked at a particular thickener, and we got a lot of knowledge and insight from that operator, and one that we knew about, we didn't think too much about it, but once we looked at it, we were pretty impressed, so just another option. And we're meeting this Friday at 1:30 to go over that. One thing I did want to bring up, 23A, they're right underneath this one, Mark. It's a wheelchair ramp that the school district is, I guess, kind of requesting to make a wheelchair ramp at 14th and Maple there. So this all started with a discussion with the classroom with Kevin and myself. They presented to us they wanted to make a way to get to the school a little safer for handicapped, wheelchair-bound students. And right now they have to go all the way around by the pool. There's no ramps really to get a shortcut, I guess you'd call it, or a easier path. So the curve right there where I got that little circle is a high back curve, and they would like it to be a wheelchair ramp so that the students that are in wheelchairs can go that way to the school instead of all the way around, and vice versa when they're coming back from the high school. So we met with them yesterday afternoon and kind of went through it. And originally it was a lot more than this. They wanted to do some crosswalks and whatnot, but it basically boiled down to if we can get that as a wheelchair ramp, accessible ramp, that they'd be cool starting there and then see how it goes from there. So it's Eric and I kind of talked about it. It's kind of on their property, but it's kind of in our right of way. So we said we'd be willing to help them out and get it taken care of this summer, so that by school next year they can use it.
Are you tied in somehow with Albrighton?
I mean, yeah, we'll figure something out.
See how their schedule is.
Yeah.
No.
Another thing with Albright's,
Higher bid.
as long as we're talking about this, we need some. We're doing the water meter project, changing all our last 700 meters. That starts in middle of April, and we talked about this before a little bit at the trailer parks. We're going to put pit meters back in, so that we're reading in one spot the water, and after that it's the trailer park owner's issue with billing and figuring out how much water usage for each individual trailer. So we're gonna have to do that, and we're gonna have to put 5 of them in. So we've got Albrighton working on prices for that, figuring out what it's gonna take to accomplish that. So along with our meter project, we're gonna do that too this summer so everything's done. And we do have some issues with public trailer parks where the old curb stops don't work anyway, so something has to be done with them because they just don't function anymore. So we have to shut off. We had to do it the other day. Shut off the main in the section, the water main, to repair stuff if they have issues. So some stuff needs to be done anyway as far as updating curb stops and getting it functional again. So that's why we're talking about doing it. That's all I got.
Graham, where are we with the water meter replacement project across the village?
As far as,
Like, do we have half left and that picks back up in the spring here, or?
we have about 1,300 done, so we got 700-ish left. So we're,
And then, does that pick up in the spring? Or
yep,
do we-
in the next month here, we'll be, Hydro will be coming back and start, the residents that haven't had theirs done yet will get signed up
And then we
Get over.
anticipate it'll be complete.
and, by the end of this year. The pit meters will be a little bit of a hold up, because that's gonna take excavating and all that, but as far as the residents and the businesses, those should all be, I would say by June.
The pit meters are only in the one one trailer park, right? Or are they in both trailer parks?
Both.
Oh, okay.
And there's, yeah, they're in both, and like I said, we have to do 5, they're all kind of split up where the water comes off, so we gotta do 5 separate ones for each area, I guess you'd call it.
I really like the format that you use and the organization and the different updates that you bring to the board. It's very nice, thank you.
You bet.
Kevin?
You can see, I guess you don't have that up, but I can read it. We had 523 calls for service in the last month. Roughly, might be a typo, I'd have to double check, but I put 76 cases resulted from that, and then 76 traffic stops. Imagine the cases are probably accurate, and I messed up the traffic stop part, but. You know, just give you a little update. A couple significant incidents that occurred in the last month. There's, you know, that are listed up there. Just kind of gives you an idea of some of the things that go on from time to time. Focus on like community engagement. We collaborated again with the library and fire, EMS, Public Works for Color of the Cop. That was good to see. The library, Lance was there, had pizzas. You know, just a good connection piece. Looking at like training that we did in the department, Tom was able to connect with, what is it, Dwayne Jordines? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yep.
And he does Upward Spiral. It's just kind of, you know, like a culture and leadership session that we had. So he came in, we got good feedback on that. Obviously, can't go a month without hearing about SRO McGrain, so he went and attended a basic SRO course over in Appleton. Taught him a lot of things about the legalities of being in the schools, gave him different ideas, ways he can engage, and we're putting those to use. It's been very helpful with the program. You know, you go into the equipment upgrades, something you should know is we had to update, we kind of have a time frame. We had to upgrade our Motorola's, our radios, our squad radios. So you might see that, you know, as part of monthly report, but something you should know, we really didn't have any choice, so we went forward with those radios. Those should,
It's your lifeline, gotta have them.
absolutely, yep, and we spent just a little bit more, but we should get, you know, hopefully additional five years out of them, longevity. You never know nowadays with that, with upgrades and just the way marketing is, so, but you can try. Beyond that, something that we're kind of looking to introduce, it's been brought to my attention kind of throughout the area, is it's called flock camera system. It's LPR, license plate readers. They're becoming common. I'm sure some of you have maybe experienced or know a little bit about them. They're a very successful tool that would be very beneficial in supporting just different investigations throughout the community, not only within our community, but within our county. Majority of the municipalities have these set up in different locations, and it's connected nationwide. We've used them a little bit to help with our cases. You know, we've reached out all the way to southern Wisconsin just within the last week, and one of these flock cameras is able to tell us, you know, where they went to, ultimately on a crime spree. So very helpful, something we're looking to incorporate in the future, and I'll get some more information on. Any questions or anything like that?
This blocks thing, we really need to look into this. I had an eye-opening moment with Chief and Investigator Dishno yesterday about how these systems work, which blew my mind.
Yep.
And one of the best scenarios was the abduction scenario you gave me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
About how quickly these things can hit these cars and scan these things and send us off and coming in, going out, whatever.
So that's that was an example that was provided to me of how effective these can be, and they took just the Jamie Kloss incident, which occurred, how many years ago was that, 05 maybe?
Yeah, probably.
But if they had flock camera systems at that time, very well could have been picked up almost immediately.
What gets me is when you can sit there and say, no, I didn't get a license plate number, but I have a black vehicle with a black topper. They can plug it into that Flox, and that Flox can hit that thing and find every one of them. Yep. So it blew my mind, and I did call my brother-in-law, and he said, get it. He goes, they're awesome. He said their first one went online, 10 minutes, and they had a stolen car in the city of limits, awesome.
Oh.
We were being online for 10 minutes.
Very effective.
They're $3,000 per camera, and it's a yearly thing. We don't buy the camera, they come fix them, they put them up, and we just pay a fee for having a camera.
So it's like you lease it and pay a
Yes,
subscription?
yeah, you lease it, so if it goes wrong, something goes with it, they come out and fix it. So yeah, it's a subscription is what you were telling me, so we figured six.
Six
would cover
ideal.
every outlet of this village.
6 cameras or 6,000?
6 cameras, so you're talking 18 grand a year. Now, I know that it wasn't the budget, but we cut it because of the squad cars. So, but this, I don't know, if we can find funds this year or look into it, but I really,
We can
really,
look
really
into it
think
and-
we should. I didn't even know nothing about this Flox system, and I was like, wow, this blew my mind, you know, and I think 6 would cover every outlet. You can't get out of village without going through a Flox on 6 cameras.
Right, it would be.
Or can't get in.
That would be max effectiveness. Also, Matt with the fire department, we're going through like the emergency operations planning with the school district right now, and we can collaborate with the school district, and that's part of the process is early prevention, early warning signs, buying time. The flock system also relates into that, so.
Yeah, that blew my mind too, about what you said, that if there's a supposed shooter running around, one's coming from Hudson, all of a sudden the Flox hits it coming into the village, you guys get instantaneous saying this suspect vehicle is now in your village. He can call, Matt can call, whatever, lock the school down, now. So, this is pretty amazing. I saw the pictures, I'm like, I wanna see the pictures. They can pick out zits on your face, man. So, pretty impressed.
So at some point we can.
They're looking for license plates and all
We can
that
give you
scenario.
work on that and give you numbers and run some things, but thank you. Any
Thanks,
other
Chief.
questions, or sir?
Yeah, anybody else have anything else? I've been busy.
Thank you.
Boyer.
Sale did it. Next month I'll have some fancy type. The bar got raised.
You're okay, you're okay.
Give us a good schedule.
You're okay, Tom.
I'd like to keep it low so they can be successful. You guys got my February report. I was a little slow. We did get a lot of projects done, so to speak. One of the things we got done is John Kruk's been working a lot. We are now a AHA training center, which means we can train instructors for CPR. You can issue our own cards. With that, we also added on American Heart Association's Advanced Cardiac Life Support and Pediatric Advanced Life Support. So we're going to be teaching those classes and teaching instructors those classes because there's really nothing in the area. So that was something we've been working on now for a year when the one we've been affiliated with in the Twin Cities pretty much went belly up. Like Kevin said, we worked with Jardines on the upward spiral. All the full-timers attended. I covered calls so they could go. They got a lot out of it. I think learning to talk and relate and deal with stress and some of that stuff and how to approach situations. FAP, some of you probably heard of the old Act 110 or the Funding Assistance Program from the state. This all came in like last 2 days, some of this last stuff. But we got that back. Usually we get like $7,000. They give us money back for non-maintenance repairs on ambulances, durable medical goods like our Lucas devices and some education. So we got around that 7,000 or 8,000 for that, and then they also had $25 million they set aside to give us money for capita. So we, was it $57,000 check came in, Jody? Roughly around that, so. It was good. Well, it was on email that Kim and Steve sent out yesterday. It went and hit the bank account.
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So, that was good, and then hopefully by June, for the state meeting yesterday, we'll be getting some of the Medicaid reimbursements that we've been working on for 2 years. My fingers aren't crossed, because it probably would never happen, but. And then one thing.
Don't hold your breath if they be putting a Lucas to you constantly.
Yeah, it's been a 2-year project, so we know how fast that works. And the last thing was, I know Mark is aware of this, that Medic 56 is a 2020 Ford Explorer. You guys know the 2020's had some issues. It spent most of February in the shop at Hudson with issues that they can get to duplicate, but they couldn't quite figure out why they were happening. They replaced a bunch of stuff on it, and per the shop manager there, they recommend that we go to Ford for the buyback program because we've had such chronic issues with that truck. So like I said, I spent pretty much almost the whole month of February at Hudson Ford. So I did start that with them, see what they're gonna do. They're still reviewing it. I was supposed to have an answer by Friday, and I haven't got an answer yet. So that's where we're at with that. So I'll keep you guys posted on if it's an option, if it doesn't look good, we'll have to come back to you and see what you guys wanna do with it. But yeah, it's got 60,000 miles in it. Spent a month in the shop, so. That's all I got.
Go to Rango.
Yeah, I'm letting it come down a little first.
Right? Amy, do you have?
I do. I have.
You have Beth's.
Beth is
issues on
unable
here?
to be here tonight,
Yeah.
so I have Beth's report. You can see the 2024 numbers. The 2024 annual report had to be signed by March 1st, so I did that the last week of February. 51,747 people visited the library in 2024. Almost 52,000 items were checked out and then back in. 108 programs. Beth has already done 40 programs since January, so that will be tripled this year. 108 new library cards were issued in 2024, and 2,200 new materials were added to the collections. The library board is currently working on our collection policy and those. So she has some of the winter reading challenge. Snowshoe by Moonlight was popular. Coloring with the Cop is always popular, and the Friends of the library have grown and created enough income that they are purchasing all of the pizza and soda for that event bi-monthly. There's a Doug Talonley event next week at Glenwood City Library about native plants, if anyone's interested. Spring break activities next week. She has something planned every single day for children and their parents. It looks really cool, so check it out if you're interested. And then started an adult craft night the third Thursday of the month, because none of us have enough to do. We should go do that too. So that's my report from Beth. Oh, and the Baldwin, the library board is starting to look at library edition expansion. So you know that'll be coming soon-ish.
Mark?
Just a couple things. I was just gonna go real briefly over an update from Bold over the police building. Current status report, you have the project milestone schedule. I won't go through all those items. Current status report, right now they've been very heavy with user input meetings with the village, with the PD and with the DNR, and Kevin and I have been on, seems like a dozen meetings here the last couple of weeks with that. The geotechnical work and the survey, property survey has been completed and distributed. Interior material selection is currently underway with both the police and the DNR. Initial building massing study will be ready at the end of March, and Walden DNR are currently coordinating furniture and salvage casework to see if any of it can be reused. We talked about before the garage is gonna need a variance. And the next steps, owner meeting to review schematic design, have some more finalized cost estimates. We expect that by the end of the month, is what Wold has told us. And user input meetings to review the building massing study, technology needs, and phasing plans for both the police and DNR in March. I believe there's a technology meeting, is it this week, or next week?
Maybe next week.
Yeah, next week, okay. So that's kind of the next meeting in the short term, so. That's all I have for that. I was gonna just talk a little bit about the EDC. The EDC is continuing to meet and kind of get molded, I think is a good way to put it. Dale is here, who's on the board, Chad, and you have in the packet, I put an email that's got the board members who've kind of stepped up and said that they'll serve as board members. Our next meeting is going to be the 25th at St. Croix Co-op in Hammond. I think the first project that the EDC is going to work on is this Wisconsin Entrepreneur Venture Program, Rural Entrepreneurial Venture Program. We applied for this program through extension and were accepted, which means now that we'll have staffing, funding assistance, a lot of strategic planning assistance from Wisconsin Extension. This is a fairly new program. I don't believe it's more than 3-4 years old at the most. Amory is probably the closest community to us that's probably a year or two ahead of us now that was accepted. But basically the goal of the program is to try to increase capacity in the community in the area to promote entrepreneurial business growth. So I think it's a very important program and a good first step for the EDC as they get back into kind of the swing of regular organizational meeting and having some purpose. So, and there's more information in your packet. I won't go through all that anymore, but if anybody has any questions, just let me know. And then the other thing I was going to bring up is Kevin has been working with me on putting together an active shooter training in the village building here. And we have that scheduled for March 25th. So Kevin, I don't know if you have anything to, don't want to put you on the spot, but.
No, it's it's something I've done before, and it occurs. It's good training to have. It's awareness, gives people a mindset, not only here but wherever they go. So unfortunately, it's something we have to prepare for and think about nowadays. And I think Mark bringing it in and training our staff on it will be a good plan for the future.
Okay, that's all I got.
Well, I'll add one more thing you kind of maybe forgot. April 1st election, big election around here, for the state of Wisconsin. Meeting would be on the 9th, right?
The normal meeting?
Yep, and plan on to go organizational on the 23rd meeting, because we're gonna have a new member on and we're gonna be readjusting. We have, as Matt had noticed with Austin, we're gonna do a little adjusting of some committees. So please put that down, 6 o'clock, 23rd, organizational. That's all I got. You guys got anything? No? Bang, 48 minutes.
You did it. Yes.
No. Oh, I guess this was good. You started that a minute and a half early, I saw it. Okay. I hadn't started until 1:30. Good. I heard you went all the way down to Rochester. You charged this guy by just out of his place? Yeah. This is good.
But that was a smaller project, so the low was 9,000. The next three were so
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta think about that shit. On a school for 30 years, like, we should be thinking about protecting. It's kind of crazy. It seems like yesterday.
So, did you two decide, get the stupid sidewalk, actually decide or not?
Free time and have a little cash.
Can you take it out, say like 20 grand, give it to the boss?
That's part of her.
That's the plan. Good seeing you, man.
We do.
No, I know you had myself there, right, 20 or 80 or
That's some
I just give it
What is that?
What have the Girl Scout look like?
It's no, trying to update it so there's more of a flashing beacon, so it's more accessible to their eyes. Right. And you can push a button to walk across, so the ones you have now, they're more like, so they kind of have like Curtis in a way, like solar and shop. Missouri. But it's other ways. And we already have
Just laid off right now and then back to the construction.
It's over to take the sidewalk out.
I know. I left enough to get a little bit.
Doesn't go anywhere now.
It's gonna go somewhere now.
We'll let the village in charge of it.
We're thinking for the future, so we're dialed in, right?
I'll do one of those graduation wheelchairs.
I was running the other day, there's a grandma down after my dad.
Have you, I haven't looked at utility. Besides Excel.
That's the big one on Maple.
I see you guys.
I would have thought of that.